Hey, if you're thinking about growing beyond one office, this episode is for you. Today, I'm going to be talking with a financial advisor who runs multiple offices and brings serious energy to her firm. We're talking scaling, we're talking leadership, we're talking mindset, and what it takes to grow without losing your edge. This is not about just tactics. It's about becoming a bigger version of yourself as an advisor. Let's jump on in. So let's dive in first. Marissa, this is your practice. This is your show. Give us, for those of you that have never met you, give them your bona fides in like 2 sentences.
Grew up a farm kid in North Dakota.
Boom.
Love people. Want to make a difference in the world and help people sleep at night. That's why I'm in business.
I love that. So tell us about your practice, though. So
so we're a holistic planning firm. Obviously, if you're a planner, you know what that means, right? We're looking at tax, legal, risk, wealth strategies. How do we help them make it, keep it, multiply it, grow it, make it for a legacy? What does that look like for them? And walk with them throughout the years, not only them, but their next generation and the following generation.
I like that. So you have offices in how many places?
We've got now really 5 brick and mortar areas. Minot, Bismarck, Jamestown, Fargo, and Dickinson, who just came on board with us recently.
Nice. Great town.
And then I am remote in Florida. I call myself the traveling monkey. I am on Delta Airlines more than I am home. And so I flow between the offices, and then we've got great people in each one of those locations. Nick is out of our Minot location.
let's bring you into the conversation, Nick, with the deep, cool voice. So Nick, tell us about one, your role in the company, and then tell us something else.
Yeah, I mean, my role is essentially helping bring the plans to fruition, working with all of our advisors to build out a plan, build out a strategy, work with the complicated details sometimes, very exciting stuff. To kind of just put the plan in place once Marissa's kind of lined them up, then we help, make a difference for people and make sure that it all actually comes to fruition.
Love it. So now, with that being said, so the brick and mortar is all in North Dakota.
Yeah.
You're down in Florida. I would reckon, because of the size of the practice that you have, you're probably doing business in, half the states.
40.
Ballpark.
I think we're at 43 or 44 states right now. We've got clients just really kind of everywhere. And the cool part about it is that, the fundamentals of what you do as a financial person, they hold true whether you're in Omaha, whether you're in North Dakota or California or Florida. It doesn't matter. People are people everywhere. And we have hopes and dreams and goals. And we strategically help them build the plan to get the goal.
So my first question is, how do you, who's on your team? And how did you assemble them?
So the question we ask our clients first is, when's the last time your accountant, attorney, financial advisor, insurance guy, stockbroker, banker, planner, the people that you pay for services, the people that you pay for advice or trust or help or whatever that is that fill in the blank, got in the same room and talked about your plan?
I know the answer. It's never.
Yeah. And so we do educational workshops. I've done them for I think we're at 23 years now of doing educational workshops, because I believe knowledge isn't power. Knowledge is not power. I know a lot of smart, broke people. I know a lot of smart, devastatedly bad placed people, right? Yeah. So knowledge isn't the issue. It's knowledge with a plan, with action is power. And so we start from the knowledge is power. And the first step of that is to really ask the right questions. And so why do we bring those people to the table, and how? I think how was really where you came into that. The first question I ask is, does that happen for you, Mr. and Mrs. Client? And if they say, well, no, that's never happened, and I say, this is much like walking into your local doctor's office, and Chuck has been seeing you for the last 30 years. And Chuck says, you know what, Charlie, you also have a ticker issue. And so, Charlie, I watched a YouTube video on this, and what we're going to do is we're going to take you to the back room, we're going to give her a whirl. What do you think?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll do the cardiac surgery for you right here in the back office. And you say, wait. No. I want to get a second opinion. I want to get a second opinion from a team of people that actually do this, because they have one desire when you go to like a Mayo Clinic or a really good big hospital anywhere you're in the country. And they bring in the cardiologist, they bring in the backup surgeon, they bring in an anesthesiologist, they bring in the nurses, they bring in the team that specializes in the area of what they're there to do in the room for you. Mm-hmm. And their whole plan is to make sure that you leave that table better than you got rolled in. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's their plan.
Yeah.
That's
as long as your insurance is good.
Yeah. Welcome to a whole other podcast. So we take that same approach. And when we're onboarding new teammates, because whether they're paid by our team or paid by someone else like the client, for example, if you've got an attorney you're working with or you've got a longtime accountant you're working with, we say, listen, what would be the value of creating your own surgical team here? You know, you're going through transition planning, estate planning, business transfers, retirement, all these different things, which are pretty scary and a lot of moving parts, and it's not your normal day-to-day stuff, much like you don't go in for heart surgery once a year.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to do this probably one time. Yeah. You ain't a kid. No more cheeseburgers for you, buddy. No judgment. So that's where we started with that. We said, what would it look like if we as financial advisors could assemble the team for the client and say, let's look at this thing together. And then, accountant, do you concur? Now, there is an art and science to doing this, because if you're going to onboard people like accountants or attorneys, ego kills. Mm-hmm. And so I would tell you the vast majority of that needs to be done before you come to the table. So you meet with the client and then you have a conversation and you say, hey, I'd really like to talk to your accountant. Can you let them know you're working on your estate plan, your financial plan, your total all planning generationally for your family, and we'd like to bring them in and ask their opinion on several things. Anytime you go in and just tell one of these other team members versus, I'd like to ask your opinion. What kind of ideas do you have? What kind of things could we bring to the table? Then you make them part of the solution and not an adversary. And I want to turn those adversaries into advocates for my firm.
Nick, are you part of the vetting process, and what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, a few just general comments I would have on it is our goal is not to come in and just replace all of your people.
Sure.
I would look at it more as, hey, we're trying to quarterback the team, make sure the parts are working together.
Absolutely.
And you have one plan. You're not getting a different plan from your CPA versus your attorney. Now, if we do, see an opportunity or we see something and your person is just not willing to adapt or work with that, then we will definitely recommend, hey, we have people on our team that can step in and assist in that. I think the first thing for us whenever we're kind of vetting out somebody is we've already had clients most likely in that area, and we're talking with clients and we're saying, who are you using? And we're kind of using that team collaborative approach. So we're already working with those CPAs or those attorneys on various other clients before we're just going to implement them with new people.
So you've got some people that you probably jive with too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're looking for team players.
Yeah.
We're looking for people who see the value in an operating room.
Yep.
Where the anesthesiologist is not more or less important than the cardiologist. Because it's going to hurt like a son of a gun. If you don't count backwards, right, from 10, as you're getting your ticker cut into. So we need to have a better conversation about how you as a client, even when I'm talking with our clients, how did you vet this person? Are they willing to be a team player? Why wouldn't they? The one I get often is, well, why didn't my guy tell me about this? And so I handle that in a very different way because I don't want to alienate a potential new team player for us.
Absolutely.
We want to come alongside them and educate them and empower them and equip them. And so what we'll say is, hey guys, they're running an office of a 1 or 2 man shop here. The time, the energy, the research and development, the extra things, that takes a lot. And so they're probably looking for people like us to walk with them and you to do this.
Yeah. Now, so back in the day, when I was in private practice, they always would tell you, find somebody that you like, send referrals, send cookies over, get in good with a CPA firm. And one thing that I noticed, and maybe it was just me, it seemed like I sent a lot of referrals and I didn't get anything back. I didn't even get my plate back from the cookies. And how does one hold somebody accountable for Because any CPA, any lawyer would be happily take new clients from somebody who said, hey, I have a new client. But let's talk reciprocity. Let's talk about keeping that relationship as even.
I think with CPAs, one of the things that I found, my father-in-law is one of our main CPAs, so I have a lot of experience in this side. They're not necessarily sales-based people.
Right.
They're not comfortable with those conversations. What I've found is that they're going to be a lot more interested in physical, concrete strategies that they can identify that you can implement or you can help their clients with. So CPAs, for example, some of the advanced retirement type things that we're doing, you can get bigger tax deductions. That can help the clients in the relationship with the CPA. So it's not necessarily, financial based that they're going to make money off of a referral or a sales based. We want you to send us a bunch of people and we'll send you a bunch of people. They're a lot more kind of by the book on, okay, what is the exact concrete thing that you're going to implement for these clients that's going to be a benefit to them.
Who's more of a challenge bringing on vetting, a CPA or an attorney, Marissa?
CPA all day.
Really?
All day.
You tell me more.
Yeah. I think, again, based on just piggyback off of what Nick just said, they really need concrete pieces. And there's a bunch in the marketplace where they've heard of it, but they're far more risk averse. Now, there's a few of those, I call them my little unicorn CPAs, right, that you'll get where they're like super aggressive and they'll go, yeah, I want to learn about that. But most of them really like same old, same old. So I challenge that a little bit. And here's the question I ask. Do you want to be known as a tax preparer or a tax strategist?
It's a great question.
And then you just shut up and look at them. You stare them down until they have to answer something, okay? And I know I'm going to be real practical on that, but that one answer, because people want to be known for something. Most people want to be known for good service. They want people to think well of them. They want their clients to like them. They want to do good work. Most people. And maybe that's just a Midwest thing because we're up in the Midwest area, but I think that's most people, most everywhere.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So CPAs are the harder of the two. Now, I will say the greatest area that we found in practice management to grow our book of business is to go find organizations that serve a common client avatar or client customer base that you want to serve. So, for example, if you're working with we work a lot with farmers and ranchers, and we went through a vetting process with them about 20 years ago. And part of that process now is they automatically share our client. Every client that comes into their door, they say, you got to go see this firm for estate planning, for transition planning, for this. And they have a list of things. And we've worked very directly with their teams. The banking team, the sales teams, the CSRs, we've worked with their people.
Yeah, one thing I would add is with the accountants, they're maybe a little tougher to onboard, but the one advantage you do have with them, I think, is it's easier for them to work remote with people. And most accountants or most CPAs or most tax preparers can work with multiple clients in different states. That's the other piece. When you switch over into the attorney world, they have to be licensed in each state. So it's a little tougher for us. Essentially, we can identify 5 CPAs and they can maybe work with any clients we need. We need 40 plus attorneys because we're in 40 plus states. So it's a little tougher, and we've found a little kind of cheat codes for those as well. So there's some things that you can do to kind of get around that a little bit. But that's the one piece I would say on the attorney side is a little bit more challenging.
Now, I want to back us up just a smooch. And we're going to come back to accountability. But let's talk a little bit about with Team Assembly, with 5 offices, adding additional advisors and additional teammates to your practice. So let's talk a little bit. How do you identify somebody you want on board as an advisor or somebody in one of the offices? But mostly the advisor. Let's stick to advisors.
Well, this is my game because my thought process is, could I drive 12 hours in a car with you?
Yes.
Can I have a real because if I couldn't be 12 hours in a car with you, sweet baby Jesus, I am not going to spend my next 20 years with you.
Maybe it's because we're from the Dakotas, but I have a list of about 4 people that I would never want to be in a car with that I know personally. And it's like, I would never, that's like my litmus test of like,
Yes.
yeah, I cannot.
Yeah.
How funny.
Yeah. And so that's my first test. And then my second, we have 5 core values that are defined. They're actionable items in our office. Team is one of them.
Okay.
Service, integrity, innovation, and hope. Those are our 5 core values.
Like it.
And so I look at those 5 core values and I say, is this someone that I would want to be affiliated with? Is this someone that I would invite to my home, have a barbecue with? Is this someone who cares about people? Are they a hope dealer? Is their desire to help other people evolve? That, for me, that's what hope is for, right? How do we help other people to evolve? How do we move them from here to there? How do we help them achieve this to that, right? And so when we onboard new advisors, I spend a great deal of time getting to know them. But the first meeting, I'm just asking them to tell me their story. What would, if money were no object, what would you do in your life? I would do exactly this. And I'm going to do it till the day Jesus or the other guy takes me home. Literally. I love what I get to do every day. I love it. I love it. I'm never quitting. Pine box, baby. That's it.
There you go.
I want people that go, you know what? I want to serve people. I want to make the world a better place. I want to leave people better than I found them. And I absolutely know that I can make a difference if I help educate, empower, and equip them. And so those are the people I want to elevate. Come stand on my shoulders. Come stand on the shoulders of our team. And we're going to we'll wrap our arms around you for the things that you're not good at so that you can do the thing you are good at.
Where are you finding them initially, though, before you get to have that conversation?
Multiple different places. We have everything from, we've got a headhunter out there working, looking for people.
Maybe you want to go through where you met Renee.
Yeah, I speak a lot. I do a lot of teachings, a lot of trainings, a lot of motivational speeches. So I met Renee, our last gal, through the North Dakota Women's Business Summit. I spoke at a women's business summit for our state, and then as part of that, they asked me to come back after that summit and come to a 2-day event with them. And I met her in a small group, and I just started asking her questions about her business. What did she want? What did it look like? I love the insurance field because typically those people start off with a desire. They really want to help people in some way.
Yeah.
They have some kind of impact story. I started in the insurance industry 30 plus years ago. That's a great industry for connecting with people because insurance policies don't get bought. It's not like an investment where you get in a retirement account and everybody just goes, oh, yeah, I got to have money for retirement, right?
Nobody stands at a party and says, wow, I just got a whole life policy.
Yeah, nobody goes, wow, sell me some term, woohoo, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we don't. That's not how that works. So I love to start in the insurance side of that. Past wholesalers, other smaller advisor books where you see this guy just kind of can't get over the hump of it's a one-man shop. I love a one-man shop because here's what I believe. Success is for one, but significance will take many.
Nice.
So if we want to build something significant for our clients, you can't be all things to all people, right? You can't be the accountant, the attorney, the financial advisor, the insurance guy, the banker, the stockbroker, the yada, 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 right?
Yeah, that's right.
Keep the line. So that's why you assemble the business team. But when you're looking at your internal team inside your offices, you say, what are you best at? What do you love? If you were a billionaire today, what would you do every single day to serve people? And when they say, well, I would do this, then I go, bingo, let's talk.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so let's talk. So, Nick, in the grand scheme of things, are you the structural guy? So you're
I'm organizational, yeah. So my title is
all right, here we go.
COO. So yeah, I got to deal with. Marissa has huge, big ideas. I got to try to make them come to fruition somehow.
So if you've studied Traction, Traction's a great business building book. There's I love this book. If you're a financial advisor in the marketplace today, you got to buy that book. And I know we can't endorse things, but I would tell you that's as close to a non-endorsement I could ever give because it's a great business strategy book.
Yeah, it's just a great book. That's all you're saying.
So visionary is the why and the what person. Why are we doing it? What needs to be done? The integrator is the who and the how people.
Yeah.
That's Nick. That's a COO. It's a chief operating officer. I'm the CEO. It's the chief encouragement officer or the chief everything officer, everything else.
Nice.
It's the chief everything else officer. And then from there, you've got your 4 departments: marketing, generating leads; sales, opening relationship; operations, fulfilling your obligations and your commitments; and then finance and legal. Those are the 4 departments of your company.
Let's pivot just a little bit now with the team. So we've assembled the team. We found the people, whether that's internal people, the people we bring in from outside. So let's talk a little bit about accountability. And so there's one thing to hold, to have meetings and hold our internal staff accountable. There's all different kinds of metrics you probably use, Nick. Do you use any?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're tracking sales, we're tracking numbers, we're tracking leads, many different things. So lots of different ways, numbers-wise, to see, hey, are you getting the
job
hitting
done?
Your marks, getting the job done?
Yeah, or at least getting up at bat enough times
Yep.
in that. But what about outside? So I have had shout out to my own podcast. I had an episode back, it's probably like episode 33, 34, where I had an advisor on, and he talked about how he does hold CPAs accountable. Like how he has a system for, hey Nick, he has a way to not apply pressure, but also maybe remind.
I mean, I think our most effective one we've had a couple attorneys that haven't always worked out or jived, or things moved differently than what we were originally, the expectation was. And I mean, we just move a different direction. Attorneys, it's a little easier because it's more transactional.
Sure.
You do a trust plan and it's done. CPA is a little tougher because it's an ongoing relationship. But I think it's the same thing as, hey, if they're not willing to implement the plan that we think makes sense, or use the tool, or get educated on it, or they're not willing to bend, or they think there's too much risk involved or something, then we just say, hey, here's the alternative option. We can kind of use somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, write these 5 words down if you're an advisor: roles, goals, timelines, deadlines, expectations. In the nicest way possible, those are the 5 core areas of a conversation with accountability: roles, goals, timelines, deadlines, expectations. And I think this is true of like everything, by the way. It's not just in our business relationships. You do this in your home. You do this with your kids. You do this in your marriage. You do this with your parents. You do this with your community. You do this with your church, wherever it is. Roles, goals, timelines, deadlines, expectations. And so the first one is, what's your role on this team? This is mine. This is yours. Great. We established that from the front end. Do you want to be a tax preparer? You want to be a tax strategist? Well, this is what those differences in those roles mean. These are the deadlines, right? The timeline of, before we leave this meeting, who's doing what and next. Those are action items.
I think with the setting expectations, that helps a little bit in the accountability also. When we work with a new attorney firm, we have a general idea of, hey, this is what things should cost. Yeah. And we'll kind of talk with them first and say, hey, is this in your general guidelines, or is it going to be 3 times this? So trying to set expectations on like, hey, we're going to drive things, but here's what it should look like.
You've got all this remote collaboration that has to happen, not only in your office, but then with the client, with external. So how do you, maybe this is over your direction on the logistics of how do you pull it together? Is it, one, how are you doing this before? How long have you guys been together as a business?
15 years.
15 years. Yeah. So let's talk before and after COVID, because COVID is a great marker for when we all started, when everybody, my parents are in their 80s and they are on their iPads all the time, right? So the ability for them to access this technology communication-wise, we all had this, everybody had a crash course and everybody did it so it was no longer painful to do that. But before, so working remote with people before and after.
You want me to start?
You start. You
Yeah, so I think, even prior to COVID, we were already using Zoom. Marissa was telling me to invest in it prior to COVID, which I should have listened to, but I didn't. So we were already...
Did you mark that? We have compliance on this call, on this podcast listening. So I am going to just assume that you wrote that down in a file as a recommendation.
I think it's somewhere.
I think it was in a business meeting for a strategic planning business meeting for Freedom Financial.
But we were already very comfortable with Zoom. So I think, we were early adapters. Some of it came from, in our past, Marissa, some of the book that she built from many years ago. We have a really large Air Force base right next to Minot where we live. Marissa worked with a ton of clients there and built her initial book. And then they just ventured off all across the country when they leave. Yeah. So it kind of, I think, forced us into this, multi-state setup. And we kind of just expanded upon that. But I think Zoom helped a lot. We obviously doing Zoom meetings with clients, but we also have multiple set Zoom meetings with all of our team members every week that are just standing meetings to get everybody together, kind of keep the culture moving in the right direction, keep the sales strategies in the same direction, things like that. And I also think from a processes standpoint, with the size we are, we're very processed. So if an advisor in Fargo says, hey, I want to open a new case, we have templated out. Here's the exact email you send to the service team. That has all the details you need. And then they have steps as far as, okay, what do we do with the applications? How do we mail them? How do we receive them? So we have everything very, very detailed out.
So if one of your advisors they showed up at the Fargo office, but they had to run to Dickinson, that office is going to run the same as...
Yes, yep.
Same processes. The key here, I think, is that you really think into what is your systems. I read a book many years ago called The E-Myth Revisited. And a great movie for you to watch as an advisor is The Founders. Right? Think about that movie and how they did McDonald's. The same experience you have in Texas, in Michigan, in Oregon, or Florida is the same at McDonald's, right? The setup is the same. The franchise model is the same. It looks the same. It feels the same. You know what to expect and experience, right? The only time you get a little bit of an offshoot of that is if you go overseas. I've traveled a lot extensively overseas, and they do like weird things in other countries.
There are some differences, truly.
Yeah, the fish and chips in Dublin. It's weird, but the first key there is the systems, and Nick talked about that. That's the processes. So why you do that is you create a system, you create a structure, and then the strategy behind that is experience. What kind of experience do they have? Is this a repeatable method so we can achieve the same outcome and the same feel that client have that we know works here, and it works here, and it works here, and it works here, and it works here. So that's a strategy. All strategy is a repeatable method with a predictable outcome. It's really simple. So, but it's hard. I mean, it's simple, but it's hard. So then, that conversation with your advisor is, this is how we do a WIP file. This is a work in progress file. Everybody keeps one. It's not an option not to keep one, because this is how our team works with each other. Everybody uses Redtail. Everybody uses this CRM. Everybody uses Zoom. Everybody, right? You don't when you use Zoom, and we're in our office meetings, which I meet with the advisors every week. I was using Zoom 4 years prior to COVID ever hitting.
But I love the fact, so everybody, because we run into, we're in our office, we run into that. Some people like Zoom, and 90% of us use Teams. And so it is like this is what we're doing. This is not
optional. This is McDonald's, right? Yep. And the experience and when I say McDonald's, or this is Ruth Chris, right? This is the experience. This is Disney. This is how Disney runs, right? And great brands, you're recognized by that. What do they feel like? So we don't use, crappy styrofoam cups in any of our offices.
Yeah, we've got checklists. You get the same sign sent to your office, so you can hang it on the wall. We build out the forms wall. Everybody's getting the same forms.
You have procedural manuals, yes, and I like that.
Yeah, and it's also a healthy way where you don't have somebody that goes rogue and you go you hear from a client, because the wider you go, right, and the deeper you go. There's a little kid's song when I was in Bible school when I was a little kid at like VBS, Deep and Wide. And I always remember like that song, Deep and Wide. And I want to create an experience where, we can go wide, but we can also go deep with our clients. Going deep with the client is an experience. Going wide with an advisor is an experience. And so really giving them the tools to do that is part of that system structure and strategy. And
to be able to grow, you have to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can't just one-off it every time. You have to make it so you can duplicate. So if we need a new service person, we have to have that process down, because one-offing it every time, you're not going to be able to grow very fast.
And you would just have anarchy, and you'd have a lot of, since we all at this table are registered, that you'd have massive issues. Massive issues. You wouldn't be able to last 15 years. You probably wouldn't make it 2 or 3 with multiple offices. And
Yeah, it helps a lot with compliance too.
Oh yeah, it's huge for
And
compliance.
we love compliance.
Yeah, they're our favorite.
In fact, Todd might be one of my favorite guys.
There's a massive piece, though. I think we definitely don't want to miss this when it comes to that, because if you have that, you will put yourself at risk.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I've said from the beginning with our team, because this is now, I'm 30 plus years in the industry, and I want to grow significantly so we can serve more people.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point in your career, you do well financially, you're good. I'll be good till Jesus or the other guy takes me home. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not the money thing. The driving factor is, how many more people can we help? How many advisors can we help? If I had 10 advisors and they can each handle 300, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Do the math here, right? 300 for that advisor, 10 advisors. We can help thousands of more people sleep at night, have a better life, send their kids to college, retire one day, pay for their mom's surgery. I mean, do cool stuff in their community, end poverty, end sex trafficking. Look at all the stuff you can do with your money.
Yeah.
Right? That's the stuff that drives me.
I have to pivot it, though, because now we're going to talk about courageous conversations. Those unpleasant conversations that you have to have, where you have to help somebody change their behavior. So let's talk about those from two perspectives. One, somebody internal. But 2, that CPA or attorney that's a teammate, but they're not on the payroll. Nick, let's start with you. Let's talk about these. How do we do that so that we maintain the integration, the synergy, and everything?
I mean, I'm more the mechanical person, so usually I say, "Hey, Marissa, you want to take this conversation?" I think very logically. I base it all on logic, and I will show them, "Hey, here's why we need to make a change. Here's why we need to change either our structure or behavior or whatever the situation is to get the outcome we want to have." Right. So here's the goal that we're trying to accomplish, and right now here's the hurdle we're running into.
I see a lot of tears in your office.
Yeah. So mine is obviously very structural. Here's where we need to be to get our goal. I liken it to sports, kind of just yell at each other and then you fix it and it's over. But, there's much more productive ways to have those conversations than the way I do. And I think that's one thing we identify in our office is, what are your strong suits?
Yeah.
What are not, and who's best suited for those conversations, and who's not, So
let's talk.
Let's
talk about it over this way then.
Well, so we're both giggling here a little bit because what happens is Nick and I have a weekly drop-in, right? And Nick goes, "These are the things that need to change or happen. Can you take that?" And I think this is the value of partnership in your office, and really identifying what is your strong suit. Do you have someone that can clearly communicate the behavioral issues? We do a lot of training in our office. We've done everything from DISC to Working Genius to Strength Finders, you name it, for awareness. And, most people think they're self-aware, but, less than 80% of people in the marketplace are actually self-aware.
A lot of advisors are so focused, and this really is the benefit of your growth and your ability to do this. A lot of advisors are concerned with, next client, who's coming in, and keeping this plane flying. But they don't have time. The only self-growth they get is maybe when they get their annual FINRA or whatnot. I just did mine too.
CE or audit.
Yeah, CE and you have to do your CE and go through and phishing and all those. But they don't have time to develop self-development like the DISC, like what you're talking about.
And I would push back on that.
No, all right.
I would push back on that.
We're getting adversarial. Let's go.
Yeah, it's good. But I'm going to make you an advocate before we're done with this, and here's why. Broke people and rich people have the same amount of this. It's time.
It's true.
It's time. We all have the same 24/7. It's what we prioritize in that 24/7. And so the question I'd ask is, what do you want your life to look like? And at the end of 20 years, for your teammates, do you want them to say, I was better for knowing him? Or thank God I got out of there?
Interesting perspective, yeah.
And so I'd ask you as an advisor, the first one is, do you have your own personal development plan? A growth plan. Do you have a growth plan? Do you have a growth plan emotionally, relationally, spiritually, physically, financially? Do you have a growth plan? Because you can lead your life or you can just live your life. You can live by default or you can live by design. You could be proactive in your day or you can be reactive in your day. So part of that conversation is just to say, hey, if we're having to deal with behavioral issues, and we all have them, and most of us are completely unaware of them, I'm if you've done the DISC, I'm a high D, high I. Like a 90 out of 100, I'm a 98. For a D, I'm a driver. I'm also an I. I'm an inspirer, an influencer. I want to have fun. That's a big value for me. Let's have a good time while we're doing it, and let's get some results, right? I'm not a details person, so I hire details people.
Yep.
Nick, wonder which one he is. He's a C, right? He's the compliance guy. He gets stuff done. He's a critical thinker. He's fantastic at this. We've got S's in our office. The S, those are our support people. They're not happy and they tell you every detail about their vacation. So identifying how are people designed and seeing the greatness in their design. I'm going to put a 10 on your head. And I'm going to put a 10 on his head. Because you were designed exactly as you should have been. And together, we take your design and my design and his design and her design, and we put those things together, and that's what a great team is made out of. Because I don't have to do the things I stink at. I can do the things where, hey, Nick, I hate spreadsheets. I hate the 85-point financial list you give me. Can you give me the bullet points, dude? And Nick hates public speaking. I know he's here. He's very excited about this.
You're doing great.
He's doing great. But, I've never met a room full of people that I didn't love, right? Like, I'm going to find something about you. So behavioral issues, there's a great book on this if this is very difficult for you. The first book that I'd give you on that is Crucial Conversations. Look it up. It's a great book. It's how to have crucial conversations with your teammates, with your spouse, with your community leaders, whoever it is, your boss. And are you asking the questions of, I see, and I'll give you an example of this. Let's say it's one of the teammates that we have where we're having an attendance problem. Listen, the first question I'm going to ask you is not, why the heck weren't you here? Here's what I'm going to ask you. How are you? How are you really? Because I noticed I haven't seen much of you. Is everything okay at home? And this just recently happened with one of my team members. And they said, this thing's happening. But they're really, really private. They're super private people. They're a high C, really private. They don't want to talk about that, and they don't want the rest of the office to know. I said, listen, my job is to be your chief cheerleader. I need you. The team needs you. We need you here. Now, I understand if you got these home things happening. So if you communicate those with me, what I'll do is I'll communicate to the team, hey, we have a private matter. I've vetted it. We're gonna support this person until they're able to return based on this. If you can give me a better timeline for that, that would be really, really helpful. But if you don't say anything, then I don't know how I can serve you. And my job is to serve you. My job as the leader and the CEO and the chief encouragement officer of this organization is to serve you. Because when you do your job better, our clients get a better experience, feel, outcome, results. But more than that, we're trading our lives for each other. We're here together. So I'm going to go through hard stuff in my life. I just recently, my grandson was just recently diagnosed with CP, cerebral palsy. I'm a sole caretaker for him, along with my single dad's son. So we're raising these grandkids together in our home. I just bought a big house, moved everybody all in. Now, you can debate as a leader. You can say, I don't want people to see me weak. I don't want them to see me that I don't have all my crap together. I don't have this and that. Or you can say, I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable, And let me just share with you, this is where I'm at, and I need your help now. She's going to help me. He's going to help her. And that's how you fix behavioral issues.
Mm-hmm.
You don't fix it by slamming somebody. You fix it by asking the question, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because you know our standards. You know who we are. You know what you'd want. What's the misconnect? What's the gap? Let's go into that gap together. Let's fill the gap together.
Yeah.
Is there a better way? And then you shut up. Is there another way? Is there a better way?
Well,
and you listen.
Obviously it worked because Nick is still here. As a high C, I knew she was talking about
well,
you.
now you can see why I let her have these conversations.
So listening. So how? I'm going to bring us back. So with that being said, with having those conversations and really getting to the root of it, because there is the style of, X's and O's and spreadsheets and hey, what the hell's going on, versus what's going on and let's talk about it and the support and everything. So having those conversations with internal, is it the same approach with external teammates?
Typically. There are some that I am less internal in, but I just did it. I just did it today. I did it over the last 2 days. I'm in a new environment with one of our new affiliate organizations that we're running our business through. Mm-hmm. We see those people as partners for us. And one of the things I shared with one of the leaders in that organization just last night at dinner was, listen, I want to share a quick story with you about someone who was really, really bad. She's no longer with my team. She's gone on to open her own business, which is great, and I love that for her. Mm-hmm. But I had a board of directors from our biggest affiliation call and cuss her out one time. Mm. And I called the guy in, and we sat in my boardroom, and I said, we have to have a conversation. This is unacceptable behavior for how you would treat someone on my team.
Yeah. Because
it's exactly as if you would have said the F word to me and reamed me out. She is me.
Oh.
He is me. Right? And so when you come in and you do that, that's not an option. And so he said, well, blah, 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 blah. And I said, that's no problem. I completely understand where you're at. Let me get your files. Let me get all your information. I'm going to let you have it. And you just take it with you. And if you're looking for some recommendations for some other potential advisors, be happy to recommend some for you. But we can no longer do business with you. Now, this was the chairman of the board for the company that sent us 80% of our business at the time.
Oof.
And I was like, great. The thing is, I can find more business. Mm-hmm. I can find more business. There's opportunities everywhere. But when you got people on your team and you don't protect them,
yeah,
you suck as a leader.
Yeah.
So go get some leadership training. Mm-hmm. Go figure that out. And now, as tough as I am on them, will be as tough as I am on me, right? So it's not what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. It's good for all, right? But then that question comes back to just even here last night. I said to them, and even today in a conference room, I said, hey, guys, how do we do business better with you? How do we better communicate with you? If there's ever a time where you see things going sideways, please call me directly. Mm-hmm. The buck stops with me in this company. Buck stops with me.
How do you convey that to clients?
Same way, is these people are an extension of me. Mm-hmm. So if you, like with this guy that no longer is a client of our firm, which was great because every other board member, by the way, on that board did business with us. So that was incredibly fun. They were like, yeah, we can't stand that guy. So it was a little rough. How we convey that to clients is this. We work as a team. Mm-hmm. There's no superstars here. I've got Nick's back. He's got mine. He's got Troy's back. I've got hers. So if one of our people are out, you call us, mm-hmm. and we'll help you figure it out. We might need to get a little up to speed on that. Give us 24 hours. We got a 24-hour rule. Give us 24 hours to make sure we can get up to speed on it. But one of our advisors had a very, very sick baby, and it was in the middle of a high season for us. high season of estate planning. We work a lot in that area in the wintertime in North Dakota. And he had a full caseload. And he had to be out for like weeks. And he's trying to do stuff from the hospital. And I said, listen, man, let us pinch hit on this for you. Let's do some of the heavy lifting. What can we do? What are the ones you can handle, you want to handle? What are the ones where you just say, this is too much and I can't do it? Because where you need to be is in the ICU with that baby. And so if you tell me, hey, well, I'll try to figure it out. No. Let's stay fully focused on what's first here. Where you need to be is with them. And then from there will always be more business.
Yeah.
Now, what we then need to communicate to the client is, hey, our guy had a baby who is now in the ICU. Now, if that client comes back and goes, well, I need this done yesterday, well, then you're probably not a values match for me. And that's okay, because there are about 10 million other people in this nation I can do business with.
Yeah. There you go. What about, I'm going to back you both up here, just a smooch. And how do you communicate, or with the communication, how has the business changed with going with the collaborative approach? So I would imagine at one point maybe you weren't doing it so much, and then it's morphed into it. So what has it meant to the business? How have people responded?
It's almost always been collaborative since I've been involved, so Marissa can maybe answer this better. I mean, I do think one thing that I recognize when I look at us maybe versus competitors to kind of compare collaborative versus non-collaborative would be, I mean, I think it helps a lot with the marketing side of things. We have a lot of people that just kind of flock to us because they think of it as, kind of in accrued terms, a one-stop shop.
Sure.
Simplify my world, make it easier for me. Also, I think it helps with some maybe financial anxiety when they know, hey, I have kind of this back office CFO team that's working for me.
Yeah.
That no matter what the weird question is, even if it's about my real estate taxes, I can reach out to them and they may not have the answer, but they're going to go out and find it. So I do think from a marketing and just a, sourcing client standpoint, it definitely seems like it makes a big difference. But yeah, maybe you can speak more to the
a little bit about
Marissa.
before and where you are now.
Yeah, so before, I was a one-man shop. I started this company from the basement of my house with $5.
Yep.
Right? My first assistant made $8. We both had desks. We fished out of a dumpster at my Air Force Base. True story. Have pictures of the desk. She is back actually on our team 30 years later.
Oh, wow.
Her name is Ellen. I love her. I love her. And she would get $8 an hour, and then whatever she could get from the crock pot or from this is a true story, the crock pot or the freezer. So I used to stock it with ice cream bars. And so she'd come in and she worked 10 hours a week, right? And so I was a one-man shop way back then, but I was basically just doing insurance, just me. And so then we were sitting around one day, and Ellen said to me, you know what'd be cool? This is like 32 years ago. She said, what'd be cool? Like if you could go see your accountant guy for this, your attorney for this, your insurance person, your investment person, you could see everybody, and they could do all it in one plan.
Yeah.
And the light bulb went on, and I was like, I'm going to build a firm like that. Ding. I'm going to build a firm like that. That's what I'd want.
Yeah.
I'm going to build that. And so I started in insurance, then went to investments, then went to really planning, then went to onboarding and helping create these, partnerships. So when I say partnerships, not legal partnerships, but relationships with accountants and attorneys. So yeah, that's where we were. And then I moved out of the basement into my first business, and I hired a bunch of independent contractors. And I was in the kind of that whole marketing agency type thing back in the day. And then I realized I didn't really love that because they were just rogue wolves and they could kind of do whatever they wanted. And it made me nervous because the client experience was not the same.
Yeah.
So this guy could do it different than this gal, and it didn't make sense to me. So I said, there's got to be a better way. So I screwed up a lot.
Yeah.
I screwed up. Yeah, failing forward for 15 years. Along that same time, I found out I was going to go blind. And so I started studying this guy by the name of John C. Maxwell, who's the #1 leadership authority in the world. And I'm actually part of his team now for 11 years, I think now. Anyway, he had a book, and it said it was 17 qualities of a team player. 17 qualities of a team player. So I went through that, and I started looking at that, and I said, what would a team player look like? How do I find these people? How do I build these people? And that's what we really started to morph into, was finding our team players. And that's how we hired our service team, our advisory teams, and so forth. Now today, how we make that feel for our clients and look for our clients is, do you remember the old TV show Cheers?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Where everybody knows your name, right? I won't sing. Sorry about that. That was real bad.
I was just about to join in.
Yeah. But, the theme song there was, where everybody knows your name and everybody's glad you came.
That's right.
Yeah. So I want to be Norm, but more importantly, I want my clients to be Norm. I want to be Norm. I want Nick to be Norm. I want my clients to be Norm, so that when they walk in the door, everybody goes, "Hi, Norm."
Yep.
And everybody knows your name, and everybody's glad you came. That is the fundamental behind team and service for our core values. And so when you think about that, building your firm around that, that's how we've changed. And how that's helped us from a business modeling standpoint is, instead of doing a bunch of stuff you really stink at, then we've spent the time, and this takes time, by the way. It takes time. You want to build, the dumbest question I think you ask in business is, how long will it take? Here's the best question you can ask in business. How far can we go together? How far can we go together? That's a growth question. And so I'm looking for growth people. How far can we go together? How many people can we help together? How many more advisors can we support? That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Cheers bar.
I like it. Okay. With that being said, we're gonna start landing this plane. So let's think now, Nick. I want you to ponder this, because I'm going to ask Marissa a question. I want you to ponder it.
Okay.
So if somebody, you just knocked about 9 of them out of the park, though. But advice that you would either give to a young Marissa starting, or to an advisor who's listening to this that's maybe at the beginning of their journey to building a team, building a collaborative environment.
Yeah, there's several pieces. The first one is, where are you now, and where do you want to go? How far do you want to grow? Then, using what you've got, have you identified, what do I have? What am I the best at? What am I a ninja at? What am I really, really good at? What if I had $1 billion in my bank account today, what would I do, right? And who would I hire to take care of the rest of the stuff that I don't want to do? As quickly as possible, get to the place in your business where you do the thing that you love 90% of the day. Right now in my day, I would say, and it's seasonal, right? But I'm between 85 and 95% of my day, I do what I love. Every day. And and so people are like, geez, are you going to take a vacation? You're going to do this? Because they say, well, you're working all the time. No, I'm not. I'm having a freaking ball. Like, I have the best life ever. I get to do this. I get really excited about it. So find out what you're really good at. And then if you're like a Nick, go find someone like me to partner with. If you're like a Marissa and people give you energy, you go find Nick.
Yeah.
Right? And you'll be better if you partner up. I think the mistake is we have ego and we don't partner up. And then the next spot that I'd say on there,
Don't
build
steal
your
all the good
plan.
ideas.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Build your plan. Build your team. And the last one is, every single year, make sure that you are on your budget, on your cash flow, as a line item to invest in you. The best investment I've ever made has been in me. The best investment I've ever made has been in books, growth, mentorship, conferences, because every time I come away from one of those, I just came back from this really cool thing called the Creative Women's Collective. And for a day and a half, I spent there taking notes. I'm sitting in the front row, just taking notes, right? And I have the ACTs. what will I apply? What will I change? What will I teach or train? So each one of those speakers, I took a takeaway from. I'm going to go back. Some of this I'm going to apply. Some of this I'm going to change. Some of this I'm going to teach or train. And so you got to have a system for that. What's the system?
I like it.
What's the system? And so invest in you and make sure you're a line item for it, because you will never outgrow in your business your leadership lid.
I like it. Oh man, Nick, what do you?
I know. What's
Same
left?
question. What do you got to say, buddy?
So I have a couple things, but I would piggyback off what Marissa said. As far as finding what you're good at, try to focus on that. For smaller offices, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, hey, you got to hire 5 other people to do all the stuff you don't want to do.
Yeah.
I think nowadays there's so many options to outsource those things too. Partnering with people like a creative to say, hey, rather than trying to research every annuity or rather than trying to trade your own investment portfolios, there's things out there that you can outsource those to, so you can focus on building your business, adding clients, working with people, things like that. The other one that I think has helped us along the way, and that if I was starting from scratch, is trying to find your niche or what differentiates you. I think, we go to all these things and see top producers and all this stuff. And every one of them you'd think, well, geez, why would you limit your business to just this? Well, it's the opposite. People that are out there looking for just that, you're going to attract all of them. So I think if you can really find a differentiator where, hey, when I walk into the room with a farmer, for example, I know I'm going to win that room. There's no other advisor that's saying what I'm saying. So we're going to get that business very easily. Whereas if you're just going in saying the same thing everybody's saying, oh, well, my expense ratio is lower, or I can get you a better return. It's like, well, yeah, it's the same thing the other guy told me. Well, I think if you focus on that, it will help the clients move to you a little easier, helps the business be easier too, because you're speaking a different language.
I like it. So thank you so much for being on. Yes. I really, really appreciate it. You both are going to have to be back on here. Maybe we do some remote stuff. For everybody else, like, subscribe, follow the show, drop some comments in. If you like, subscribe, follow the show, what ends up happening is when we drop a new episode. And the purpose of this show, The Complete Advisor, real advisors, real talk. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.